Now in the My Hero Academia manga 320, Deku is refusing UA student/hero help to fight All for One and his villains team because they are dangerous. In my opinion, Deku needs UA student help. Deku needs a UA teammate because the teammate is important in My Hero's academics. Now I'm going to talk about All Might and All for One because both of them prove that teammate is important in My Hero Academic, and then later explain why Deku need teammates such as UA student. All Might used to be the symbol of peace and was the strongest hero. All Might outclass almost every hero in most categories. No hero ability was anywhere near his level, and even now, heroes are still not on his level. All Might still need help doing the things such as finding where the villain's location is because finding the area depends on information that is given, or he would have to find the place himself. The problem is that All Might All for One ability doesn't last him the whole day, so he would have to locate the villains fast so he wouldn't turn back to his human form. He is powerless in human form and had to wait until his ability lets him turn back to his powerful transformation. The people who usually help All Might locate where the villains are the heroes and the police. Another thing that All Might need help with is when his One for All ability depletes, he is not able to stay in the form because of his injures, and he gave Deku his power too, which means he is losing more power. When All Might beat the Nomu, he was about to fight Shigaraki, and he was transforming back into his human form, but before he could fully turn back, the heroes came and stopped the League of Villains before they could do more damage to All Might and the UA students. All Might can't do everything on his own because he isn't invincible. All Might need help with certain things, and it is understandable. Now, the way that All for One uses a teammate is that he uses his teammate to further his own goal because he can't do everything alone. All for One is one of the strongest villains in the series, and he has been using his teammates the whole time since the beginning of time when he tried to dominate the world. The Dr. Kudigaraki helps All for One stay in better condition than he would have been if he didn't have the treatment that he was getting from the damage he got from All Might. All for One also use the League of Villains to do whatever they want. Whenever the League of Villains does what they want, it usually helps All for One further his goal. All for One is great at predicting what's going to happen, so his expectation is usually met. All for One knows that Shigaraki got a good eye in doing things, and All for One trained Shigaraki and got him to where he is today. All for One knows the importance of having teammates around him, and it will help him in the long way of what he wants in life. Now the fact that the strongest hero and villain needs help to do things, why would Deku be different? Deku is one of the strongest heroes. Deku's potential is more than All Might in strength and other areas. Deku is still going to need help in particular areas that he isn't good at, and Deku doesn't know everything, and his ability doesn't help in doing everything, so he will need other powers to help him out at certain times. Deku needs a hero to give him information at times, so he won't have to search all over the city to find the villain. Deku needs help from heroes if he gets seriously injured, and heroes would help bring him to the hospital. It is why Deku is going to need UA students to help him because he can't do everything on his own. The UA would help Deku along the way. The UA student will do things that Deku can't do, and it will help both Deku and the UA student because they have the same goal in defeating the villains and protecting the city. It should be mentioned that the UA student has been putting their life in danger fighting the villain for a long time now and has helped Deku get to where he is today. Deku should allow the UA student to continue to help him even though they are in danger. The UA student knows what can happen to them and has accepted what they would do if it were to happen. The UA student became a hero to do the work that Deku is trying to do, on his own. Deku can't protect the UA student forever since there are too many villains around the place for Deku to be in all those areas, so the UA student would have to be there to stop the villain from continuing what they were planning to do. Now I believe Deku will have a change of mind later on, and will be glad he had the UA student on his back to overcome All for One. Deku has to realize he is an All Might, and doing everything on his own could end up being in the same situation All Might be in when All Might beat All for One. Deku beating All for One could end up with Deku getting damage, and not being able to use one of all would be a problem, and he would be defenseless in a certain situation that can lead to his death. Deku getting help with the UA student would take the burden off his shoulder and the weight of the city off of him. It is too much, and it is stressing him out so much he is exhausted from the countless battle he is doing on his own. He is using his quirk, so much knowing the damage is going to do to him. The only way that Deku won't stay damaged is by using Eri to reverse his wounds back in a time that he didn't have it. It is a risk to use Eri's ability because she doesn't know how to full control of her ability. It could take a while for Eri to heal Deku. Deku wouldn't have time to wait to heal from Eri since his mental condition and stress don't allow him to. All the more reason that UA students are there to help him so he won't have to be in that situation. Deku should use UA students because they are needed, and it is their job to protect the city. Everything that is stated conclusion is that Deku needs help from UA students whether he likes it or not.
Like, comment and subscribe.